Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 3 of the high school football season here in Northern Michigan, and thank you for joining us on Next Level Broadcasting. I am Eric Huffman, joined by my cohort tonight, Jared Stamen, along with Ryan Bentley, giving us the awesome shots that you love to see every week here on Next Level. And again, welcome to East Jordan and Boswell Stadium. East Jordan Red Devils playing host to the Blazers from Kalkaska. Both teams coming in at 2-0. East Jordan beating Manistee 20-6 in week 1, and then a rather drubbing of Joburg last week, 51-0. Kalkaska also coming in undefeated, beating Elk Rapids in week 1, 10-0. Although that could have been a lot closer than the small 10-0 score, but also beating Oscoda in overtime, 20-14 last week. As we're getting ready for kickoff here, Jared and I will be getting into some of the things to look out for from the East Jordan side and the Kalkaska side as well. Kalkaska's first 2-0 start since 2017. East Jordan going for their third consecutive 3-0 start. Last year, the Red Devils won 44-13. East Jordan leads this overall series 21-20-1, with East Jordan winning the last 2 and putting up at least 40 points in each of those games. But it's a whole new year, a whole new season, both teams 2-0, and let's see what happens as I bring in my partner, Jared, tonight. Thank you for joining me this week, buddy. Our first time together.
Yeah, Eric, and it's really my pleasure. I've been waiting for my turn to, be with the great Eric.
The great, yeah. You're not so far so good, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it.
We get the kickoff taken here. Wyatt Penny going to take you to get up the middle. Wrestles through a couple of Blazer tacklers before he's wrestled down right about 29-yard line. We'll start off 1st and 10. Jared, a couple things real quick to see coming from East Jordan as you've seen them play once already.
Yeah, on offense, we're going to be looking for some of this read option, William Webb getting out on the edge, and Max Beal actually is out tonight, their star running back, and he's been monumental so far in their success. Curious to see if anyone else takes into that role. William Webb ends up running the ball a little bit more as we're going to snap off the first drive.
We'll get into talking about a little bit Kalkaska once Kalkaska gets their first possession of the game. Right now, East Jordan on 1st and 10. They get a run up the middle. It keeps churning those legs. Nice run by Garrison Henry there to start off the game. Tackled by, as soon as Blues out of the way there, number 4 is that Jet Bittenbender.
Yeah, and I think Garrison Henry's probably going to be the number 1 back here and can take most of the carries, trying to relieve the load of Max Beal and fill in those big shoes.
2nd and long 2. EJ out of the gun. You're going to go to the left side. He's got a nice lead blocker by his running back. He's going to try the left edge and look close to the first down. Looks like he's going to get it by maybe a head, maybe a yard. Looks like 1st and 10, Red Devils. Let's move the sticks ahead, and let's do her again, Jared.
Yeah, and I think we might see a little bit more quarterback power. Week 1 against Manistee, I was actually up at that game, and you didn't really see a lot of designed runs for William Webb. And curious to see now with the absence of Max Beal, if we're going to see a couple more of those.
Yeah, and we talked about this on the Next Level Broadcasting Show. And again, ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday through the rest of the season, we have a Next Level Broadcasting Show. We go over the games from the previous week and talk about the games upcoming. And I fell in love with East Jordan's offensive line after seeing the Manistee highlights. As you've got a rollout to the right side and Webb, pass incomplete, out and in the flat, intended for Penny.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the offensive line is going to be really the key to this game. If they can control the trenches, the absence of Max Beal won't be as felt because, Garrison will fill up that hole pretty well, as long with the athleticism of Webb. But I really like what they did. They're trying to swing it out, get this defense on their heels, and potentially get a good first down throw. It was just a hair off.
I'll also be curious, as the bug tried to fly in here on me, be curious to see the confidence. Obviously, they're both coming in 2-0, but East Jordan has been really good the last few years, so they're 2-0.
Sure have.
Are they both coming in as a confident 2-0 or a 2-0 with question marks? And again, we'll find that out. Nice pass out into the flat, first down and more. He's down to the 40, 35, and he runs out of bounds right around the 33-yard line. Nice screen play out to the
Brady Wilson,
Yeah, Brady Wilson. I know. I thought I had to wait for the number there. Yeah, when you're getting your 50s, the eyes have to adjust a little bit once in a while. But yeah, nice completion and run up the side, a little yak yards after the catch there.
Yeah, a lot of times we're going to see those pop passes. We mentioned in the run game and the offensive line, but the offensive line also gives time for Will Webb to hit Brady Wilson, and he is an electric wide receiver there. I believe in the Week 1 game he had over 100 yards, at least 1 touchdown, multiple 20-plus yard catches, and he's trying to carry that over to Week 3, their first home game.
1st and 10 Red Devils from the 37-yard line of Kalkaska. Motion left. Webb hands it off right up the middle. Garrison Henry going to get almost Going to lose a yard on that. Nice stuff by the Kalkaska Blazers interior defense. Loss of 1 to be second and 11.
And we're going to see if they're going to continue with a lot of this play action. Look, we already saw 2 to start off the drive, and I think that is really going to be their bread and butter. Get the linebackers up closer so you have your playmakers like Brady Wilson and also Wyatt Penny. Nothing, definitely a notable player to say as well, not to take away anything from him.
You wonder what type of scheme or game plan East Jordan. Do they change something because you've got Max Beal out tonight, or is it just next man up and we're going to run what we brung? Second down, looks like they inch the sticks up a little bit there. Second 10. And was that going to be a delay of game as the flag comes up, or is it a little encroachment?
Looks like.
Normally you get the delay coming from the back judge. I didn't see his hands go up, so we'll have to see what it's calling here from the side. False start. No, moving back 5 yards to be second 15.
And a lot of times with these high school teams, the biggest hump a lot of them have to overcome is the self-inflicted wounds. Last week I was at the Boyne City game, and that was really the only defense that they could that was against them was themselves playing. I think they had over 10 penalties, and East Jordan wants to try and clean up as many penalties as they can.
Well, now you're getting into week 3, and we always talk about, first game jitters and this and that, and throw this video away because it's week 1. Well, we're into week 3 now. Some of this stuff should be corrected by now. If not, maybe it's time to start cracking a whip.
Absolutely.
Hand off up the middle. Henry once again. He's going to get a nice chunk back, probably back to the original line of scrimmage, be third and long.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night for this front if they keep letting 4 to 5 yards a pop because East Jordan's not going to really want to do anything else. And
again, we talked about briefly just before we got started, East Jordan putting up 40 points in the last 2 meetings at least, in their last 2 games. But that doesn't mean they need to score 40 points. If they can just sustain drives and win it 21-0, then we're going to win it 21-0.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what the coach would prefer.
Third and long, we got a rollout by Webb. Looking to pass, he's going to float it out really close to the sideline. I think he was out of bounds and came back inbounds. So I'm not sure exactly what the official was calling, because I don't know if he had reestablished himself. I wasn't sure if I saw maybe a footstep.
But still a great effort, at least aware of the sidelines. You could see there, even though he might have stepped out first. He had the awareness to make sure his feet were inbounds on the secondary attempt.
And I'll be curious on if they do that rollout again later on, if Webb doesn't look to see if he can't find a hole, tuck that down, and possibly run it too.
But I do like that he's trying to keep his eyes downfield and not scramble too much, not panic, and trust his players down the field to make plays.
So, fourth down and 11 on Kalkaska side of the 50-yard line. Obviously, you want to go for it. You got it spread out 2 to each way, and they're going to throw it underneath. They get it to Garrison Henry. He eludes. It gets through a couple tacklers, but he's going to be well short of the first down by about 3 yards. Kalkaska, we take over first and 10 right there. And real quick to talk about Kalkaska as they start their first possession of the night. I saw them in week 1 against Elk Rapids. And the three-headed monster I saw of Wilkinson, Seidelman, and Bittenbender really did a great job of running and not just up the middle, but getting around the edge too. And one of the great things I saw is we'll see what happens depending on East Jordan's defense. If you see a little bit of the spread from Kalkaska and what they may do with it. Get 2 to the right and 1 to the left. 8:42 to go in the game, no score. Kalkaska's first possession of the game. QB's going to keep it and try the left side. He stood up and then shoved backwards by a couple of Red Devil defenders. He'll get a gain of about 1 on the play. That was Wilkinson on the carry.
Yeah, great tackle by Garrison Matthews, just getting right in there, stuffing up the quarterback for a minimal gain. First game at home, they want to set the precedent, let them know this is their turf, they're defending it, and they're not going to let Kalkaska come up here and upset what's so far been a perfect season.
And again, first possession of the game, too, you want to make sure if you're East Jordan's defense, you want to be stout, and a nice 3-and-out to start the game would bode well for them. Second and 8 out of the gun. Got 1 in motion to the left, and they're going to try her up the middle. That would be Seidelman, running back. You'll hear his name quite a bit. Seidelman, he can run up the middle. He can also try to set the edge, too, and get around there. And, again, that three-headed monster in the backfield can get some damage if they're given the right holes and can get around the end. We'll be checking in throughout the night on some of the other games in Next Level Universe, as we talked about during the Next Level show last night. And we'll get into those here in just a minute. 3rd and 6, ball on the 34. Wilkinson out of the gun. Looked like he's going to try to fake the handoff or whatever's going on. I don't know if maybe it was a mishandled snap. Looked like he was looking for Seidelman and then tucked it in, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, and that was Wyatt Dione, I believe that's how you pronounce the last name, on the last tackle there. And
well, don't worry about mispronunciations, Jared, because what's great is you have, if all of you watching out on YouTube, you can open up those chat lines, and if you've got a mispronunciation or if you want to give a shout-out to some player or your favorite player or if your relatives out here or just want to say hi to us, open up that chat line and let us know. We'll make sure to get as many shout-outs as possible. Blazers punt on 4th down from the 25. Hits and sticks there right about the 30-yard line. It'll be down East Jordan. Take right back over 1st and 10 for their 2nd possession of the evening. So, again, we talked about Next Level Universe, other games going on tonight. Gaylord St. Mary's is playing host Forest Area. Predictions as we kind of thought that was going to be an early night tonight. We'll see what Tom Clementson and crew have to deal with over there in Gaylord tonight. Traverse City St. Francis, I believe that has Charles and the boys at Benzie Central, taking on the Huskies. Elk Rapids making the nice trip to Oscoda tonight. I've thought about swinging it out to the screen on the left and side and hang on to it. He's going to end up eating a couple of yards for a loss. It'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, I like Webb trying to keep his eyes downfield there. Again, shows maturity at the quarterback position in his 3rd game, but that's one you'd like to see him throw away. You know, I mean, they only lost a yard, but you'd rather have a 1st and 10 than a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 10 than a 2nd and 11. Oh,
we thought the most even matchup might have been Elk Rapids and Oscoda tonight. Elk Rapids, although being 0-2, had a chance to possibly beat Kalkaska in Week 1, but still haven't even scored a point yet this season. So, let's take the small victories where we can get them.
Yeah, we just saw Brady Wilson there on the swing pass for a few yards, setting up a 3rd down. Curious to see, were they going to try and air it out again? 2 screen passes first drive, 1 for 2 yards, 1 for no yards.
Well, you'll hear me say this quite a bit, and I pretty much say it every week. Get from the cow that's giving milk, which means whatever's working, let's keep doing that till it doesn't work, and we'll move on to the next cow or whatever, or the next play. Out of the gun, Webb. It looks like he's going to look right. He's going to end up tucking it again. Nice job by Kalkaska, waving their way through the line, grabbing the quarterback, dropping him down for another loss on the play. 4th down and long again.
Yeah.
After that, on this drive, not a bad start by the Kalkaska defense.
No, what a response. The first drive, East Jordan looked pretty dominant, and we were kind of talking pregame. Could East Jordan get some momentum and really get the ball rolling and just run? Kalkaska's putting up a good statement so far.
And again, it's only the first period, and it's still a long way to go and a lot of game to play.
There sure is.
But, yeah, we were talking, both 2-0 schools. Are they both 2-0 the same way? Or are they 2-0 by their schedule, 2-0 because they're 2-0 good? That's one of those things we're looking to find out tonight. Nice punt, going to drop at 35 and get it's a favorable Red Devil bounce, and going to be down about the 26-yard line by Brady Wilson. And while we've got a minute, let's talk about Professional Seamless Gutters. Your home gutters are always there when you need them to be, and so is our good friend Orion Beningo. And that's why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. Professional Seamless Gutters offers fast and experienced service and real-time quotes. But wait, there's more. They'll actually answer the phone call. That's Professional Seamless Gutters at 989-619-3407. And tell them we sent you. Better yet, tell them Jared sent you.
Yeah, why not?
Charlevoix going to Tawas to finish out the next level schedule for tonight. And again, I'll try to get in and get you some score updates when we get a chance here. First 10, Kalkaska Wilkinson going to try the right side. He's met at 30 where he churns ahead for another 5 yards. Going to lean forward to get a possible 60 yard out of that. Nice high knee run action and running through the defense for Wilkinson there.
Yeah, that's a strong run there by Wilkinson. You love to see that from your running back. As long as, they can take 2 or 3 guys and carry them for an extra 2 or 3 yards. I mean, that's a pro player right there. Those are those talents you look for at all those levels.
Got Thomas Mayhew hobbling up a little bit. Let's see if they're going to try to get him out of there. Yeah, you already get his ankle or something checked out. A little too early for cramps, so it's got to be something with the wheel.
And he's Thomas Mayhew. He's one of the best interior defenders and offensive linemen. So hoping that he can get back out there for the next drive.
First and 10 Blazers from 36. Hand off to Seidelman. Eludes one tackler, met by a whole host of Red Devils, and dropped right there at the line of scrimmage. No gain, second and long.
Yeah, and it seems like kind of the main thing that's differentiating, well, both defenses, they're just winning the line. You know, offensive line, they're not getting the push that they want. Neither team is trying to run the ball as much as they can, but sometimes the front is just too much.
In a little bit, we'll get into college games going on around here. I'll talk about in-state games. Some are favorites, and some we're just going to mention. Second down, Wilkinson fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it. Tried to get around William Webb, but nothing doing. He wraps him up and drops him right there. No gain on the play, third and 10. And, and I found this in the first couple of weeks of watching. Anytime you try to do any type of running where you're taking too much time at the line or behind the line, today's high school defenses, they're looking to fight through, and if you waste time back there, it'll start turning your feet or sidestepping instead of just bowling through. You're bound to get hit right at the line or get a loss out of it. Wilkinson out of the gun. Tried to lead his receiver.
Yeah, it looks
Zach Porter. Yeah, he was covered, and then it looks like he tried to lead him to the open spot by throwing to the open spot, and Porter was just a second or two late recognizing that, so it falls incomplete.
Yeah, he couldn't quite find the weak spot in that zone concept there, and the quarterback was trying to throw the ball to where he wanted him to be, but just a little off page there.
So 2:23 to go in the first period, and outside of the East Jordan in first possession, it got a little bit down the field. It's kind of been a nice defensive battle here.
It really has been so far.
Wilkinson to punt. Taking it about 31, 32-yard line. Gets to about the 41, and the whistle blows, and good job by both teams, just playing to the whistle and then letting up. No extracurriculars.
Yeah, I believe that was number 66, Jake Ingersoll, on that first tackle. He just grabbed him up with one arm. It looked like he could have gotten a couple more yards out there, but he stopped him enough for a couple more Kalkaska defenders to gather and rally the troops to get him down.
Again, we thank you for joining us on Next Level Broadcasting. If you want to, you can check out all the games that we're broadcasting. Go to nextlevelbroadcasting.net. Just I have on my screen, or I can watch all the other 4 games at the same time while we're doing this game. If you want to check in on Gaylord St. Mary's, you can go to Gaylord St. Mary's Athletics, Elk Rapids. You can see elkrapidsfootball.com. Let me get to their games from the Next Level universe. Later on tonight, we'll be having East Jordan Athletic Director in here for an interview, talk about adding East Jordan to the Next Level family of broadcasting this year. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a great addition so far, starting out 2-0, and they've got some fun playmakers out there. The quarterback, William Webb, was not the quarterback last year, more of a wide receiver gadget player, and, their senior quarterback, he graduated, and he took his role, and he really hasn't missed a step. He's looked great. You wouldn't know that this would be his first year quarterbacking.
No. After the 4-yard gain, be 2nd and 6. Webb fakes the handoff. Looks like he's going deep. He's got a man wide open. Catches it in stride. Brady Wilson down to the 10, the 5, and he waltzes in for the touchdown. Touchdown, East Jordan.
Well, honestly, I got to say, it was about time. We were waiting for them to score, get some explosives. The first drive looked good, and after kind of a shaky second drive, third drive, they cash in on that play action. It's
that RPO right there. They set it up. They did so much here running to the screens and the flats and trying the running game. And, sooner or later you got to take that shot. And the way he led him out, Wilson was able to just get sprinting and leave his defender behind and catch that in stride and waltz in for that easy touchdown.
Yeah, beautiful throw and great catch as well. Looks like they're going to be going for 2 here, Eric.
Oh, careful. Make sure they both reset. He had 2 guys moving. Yep, Webb going to keep it. Gets a lead blocker, but he almost like he knelt down before the goal line there. He had too much traffic in the way. Extra point to be no good, so with 1:17 to go in the first period. East Jordan 6 and Kalkaska 0. Do you know the Jordan Depot Valley Teen Center in East Jordan will serve over 5,000 healthy meals this year to local teens? To learn more about what the Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center is doing for the youth, visit them online at ejdepot.com. I don't even think I can remember when gasoline was 31 cents a gallon.
Yeah, it's really dating him right there because
Wow.
I wish it was 31 cents a gallon.
Makes me want to go around here and. Yep, he's got gray hair. 31 cents a gallon. I believe it. Okay.
Well, you know, Eric, some people gray a little bit earlier than others. You could
Yeah, well, I can't. We don't talk about gray on me because all my hair is gone off my head. So it's.
Well, then you beat it. No gray
Yes,
for you. You don't even have to talk.
Yeah. We talked about that small victories earlier in the game already tonight. So yeah. In the world of college football, you got an interesting game coming up this weekend. Number 23 Michigan hosting Central Michigan. I call it the Connor Stallions game.
Yeah.
Any quick tidbits you want to add with that, Jared?
Well, I would love to say something, but real quick, Eric, I'd love to point out East Jordan special teams.
Yes.
If they're going to do their patented double kicker onside kick.
I can't wait to see it.
It is truly something to watch.
Kickoff taken at the 20-yard line. Met at 37.
Didn't end up going with it there, but if you guys could see in the broadcast, they'll line up with two kickers on both sides, and the defense or the special teams doesn't know which kicker is going to get it.
I think we actually saw a highlight of that from the Manistee game. I think you guys were talking about that.
Yeah, they got it a couple times, and last year they did the same thing, so it's becoming a staple of this East Jordan team. And, hey, you keep the ball in your offense's hand, you keep scoring points, keep their offense off the field, it's going to lead to a lot of victories.
Yeah, and it's 6-0 right now, and Kalkaska has been a formidable opponent for the most part in this first period. So who's to say that may not come down to be a key play of the game?
Oh, absolutely. Each possession, very much so, is important.
Blazers on first down, 1:09 to go in the first period. Wilkinson going to keep it. Lowers the boom on a Red Devil defender and gets an extra yard out of it. Be 2nd and 7.
So far, one of the more physical games I've seen so far from both teams. They're really hitting each other. A lot of guys rallying to the ball. Week 3, I think both 2-0 teams, they know that the physical intensity might be the difference between 3-0 and 2-1.
Less than a minute to go in the period. Could be the last play of this period. Kalkaska spread out 3 to the left and 1 to the right. And just like we talked about in pregame, sometimes they'll set up that spread and they'll look to just run it right up the middle and get that defense out of the way. Nice run by Seidelman. Another chunk play by Seidelman, too.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. It was just about to be my point. You'll see a lot of trips looks from this offense, and most of the time it's not a passing look. It's actually a run, trying to, like you said, space out the offense.
Yeah, I saw that down in Elk Rapids a lot. Anytime Elk Rapids put 8 or 9 on the box and start stuffing the run, they would go to the spread and still try to go, if it's not right up the middle, at least maybe a quick seam pass or a wham play or somewhere around the edge. Yeah, after one period of play, it is East Jordan Red Devils 6 and the Kalkaska Blazers 0. We'll be back after this commercial break. You are watching Red Devil Football simulcast on nextlevelbroadcasting.net and on YouTube. Search Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
And welcome back to Next Level Broadcasting. And welcome back to East Jordan High School in Boswell Stadium, getting ready for the start of the second period. East Jordan 6 in Kalkaska 0. Not a bad start to this game from both sides, Jared. Beside the 6-0 score, East Jordan scored on a big play. Other than that one big play, it's been pretty much played between the 30s almost.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good showing so far for Kalkaska.
Nice run by Seidelman there. And again, another chunk play up the middle by Seidelman.
Wow, that was an angry run by Seidelman,
Yeah.
tearing off tacklers. He was trying to get into the end zone at all costs. You really love to see that if you're a Kalkaska fan. The energy, they coming into a hot East Jordan team, first home game. They're coming in with the fire, East Jordan. So Kalkaska coming in there and a big angry run there after their response score or drive to the score from East Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. You look like a man possessed after that long bomb from East Jordan to get them their score. It looked like he's bound and determined for Kalkaska to get some points on the board this period. 1st and 10 from the 26. Wilkinson going to hand it off. Seidelman again. Eludes. He sidesteps to the left. Gets through the line and keeps pushing forward. Another big chunk play. Almost another 10 yards. Give him 11 yards on that and another first down for the Blazers.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something on the sideline the coach said to fire up these guys and Seidelman specifically, but those 2 plays since the second quarter and 2 big angry runs from Seidelman.
I hate to repeat myself. This would be a good cow play right here. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. I think Seidelman's the hot man. I don't think you're going to stop. Let him get those 6 points. He sure wants it.
Wilkinson going to keep it this time. He gets around the right side. Easy, gets stopped. He gets through 2 tacklers and carries them into the end zone. Touchdown, Kalkaska. Nice possession by Kalkaska. Nice drive down the field and a nice score to even it up 6-6.
Yeah, great responding drive from Kalkaska. They really needed to, show that they could score up some points too. The last couple games, 10 points, 20 points, and this is most likely the best squad they've faced so far. So getting on the board in the 3rd drive, keeping it close is exactly on schedule for this Kalkaska team.
So now we'll see if they'll line up for the 2-point conversion or if they got an extra point in store for this. Just getting underway in the second period. 10:57 left to go in the half. I'll get into my next level feed here and start maybe even get some updates on some games from around the area. Kalkaska going for 2. Wilkinson going to pass it. Easy pass out in the flat to Bittenbender for the 2-point conversion, and that makes the score Kalkaska 8 and East Jordan 6. Again, nice drive by Kalkaska answering that touchdown by East Jordan. You need to enhance your brand? Sky Media 45 combines excellent photography with post-production to create stunning video and image content. Showcase your community event or business with our expert aerial solutions. We're ready to fly for you. Visit us at skymedia45.com. I believe our buddy Tom Clemenson's part of that.
I'm not sure, Eric. That is one that I can answer for you.
I answered it for you. You're good to go.
Well, my thoughts on Michigan, we got cut off by the
sir.
Bringing it back there.
Give me some insight, buddy.
I'd like to see Bryce Underwood really just ball out. Last game they were conservative with him, not the best game he wanted. Michigan fans weren't really too happy. 9 for 24, about 145 yards, something around that ballpark. Good yards per reception, but a losing effort. The score was not indicative of how close that game was. Oklahoma pretty much dominated from the start. Central Michigan, obviously some interesting dynamics between the teams. We don't have to dive into the details, but I think that they're going to want to come into home game at Central. They're going to lay down the hammer. Hopefully, a bit of a Wolverine fan myself, but got nothing against the green. I'm hoping for a win against Youngstown.
I'm not the greatest Michigan fan, but I expect quite the beatdown possibly coming up this weekend. And we got an intriguing game coming up about 65 miles to the west of that. We'll get into that here in a little bit. MSU facing a very imposing dual threat quarterback.
Very.
And again, we'll get into that young man's stats here when we get another opportunity.
Yeah.
As looks like the ball didn't quite want to stay up for the kicker, so we'll reset that and we'll try to kick off once again.
Yeah, not much of a breeze out there, so maybe some troubles in the grass.
And we got, looks like 5 minutes to go in the first period down in Benzie Central, St. Francis 14 and the Huskies 0. East Jordan on the reception from the kickoff gets it up to the 29-yard line. Well, they'll start off first and 10. 10:51 to go. Down 2 points. 8-6 to Kalkaska.
Yeah, Brady Wilson, not a terrible return. Got to about the 30-yard line there. Not a bad way to start the drive. Got 70 yards to that wonderful 6 points.
Looks like we'll try to get an update from Elk Rapids at Ascota. They're dealing with some a little bit of technical difficulties there right now, so we'll move on to the next game. Charlevoix almost in the end of the first period down in Tawas, leading Tawas 14-7. Oh, nice run up the middle by Garrison Henry where he's upended after a gain of about 3 on the play. Be second 7.
And he, this is his chance to make a role for himself. He's just a sophomore replacing the senior Max Beal, and this is his time to shine and, show why he deserves to be at that starting role next year. Looks like there's a timeout.
Looks like checking. Is that equipment or something? I don't know. I'm not sure, but they're subbing somebody out.
Yeah, something.
Gaylord St. Mary's up on first area, 20-0. Webb going to roll it to the right. Looking to see if he's got a man open. He ends up going out to the flat and 2 feet inbounds. He only need one. No, incomplete. He's going to say it was bobbled going out of bounds. Coach does not like that. He's going to take about 4 or 5 steps away to make sure there isn't anything yellow flying in the air after that call.
Yeah, right on the East Jordan sideline, too. That ref pretty confident in that catch because, the coaches and the whole team is right there. So, he would have heard it firsthand from those guys.
10:15 to go and a half. 8-6, Kalkaska over East Jordan. East Jordan scoring the first points of the game on a nice long bomb. Kalkaska with a nice answer. Pretty much the Seidelman possession after that, besides the last part of getting him in the end zone. But he did most of the legwork getting the ball down the field.
Yeah, behind him in that line, it's a game of trenches in high school.
Oh, and we got a whistle before the snap. I'm not sure we got a timeout. And yes, we got a timeout by East Jordan. So while there's a timeout, we will take a quick break and come right back. You are watching East Jordan football on Next Level Broadcasting, simulcast on nextlevelbroadcasting.net and YouTube. Search Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, out of the timeout. Be 3rd and 7 for East Jordan. See what kind of play they've got devised up as they run 2 receivers to the right, to the left. Going to spread them out. Scored on a nice long bomb on their last possession. Let's see what happens on 3rd and long. Quick hitch with the pass. He's going to elude one defender, rolling out to the left, and he's got a man open for a first down. Nice catch and then hanging on as he's got the lumber laid to him there. Shoved back a couple of yards, but still plenty for the first down. 1st and 10 Red Devils.
Yeah, he came in there like a Seeking missile. He was ready for that tackle there. But still a great job by East Jordan getting the first down and getting the chains moving. They saw Kalkaska can score from that run game, and they want to give their defense a break, let them catch their breath, have a nice long drive on offense, and get 6 more points.
Webb going to hand it off. Henry up the middle. He'll get a couple, maybe 3. 3rd down. We'll give it 3rd and 7. Michigan State playing home to Youngstown State this week, and we talked about it on the Next Level show yesterday. Youngstown State has a very nice dual threat quarterback. In his last game, they had 260 some odd yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 running, 1 passing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with dual threat quarterback as you got a Kalkaska Blazer stepping off sides to help East Jordan out for 5 yards.
Yeah, and you know what? You'll take all those yards. That makes it a 2nd and short. And, 2nd and short opens up your playbook for a lot. Play action, potential another deep shot, a full-on deep shot, run the ball. Defense really got to expect anything from this offense on 2nd and 2.
Are you a believer in Aiden Childs for Michigan State on year 2? It seems like he's improved a little bit, still a little inconsistent in my book, but it looks like he's better and has the tools to be an outstanding quarterback.
Yeah, I'll give you my thoughts after this play.
There you go. Webb, he knew he was going to keep it from the snap. Goes to the left, a first down, and then some. Almost enough for 2 first downs on that. 1st and 10 Red Devils into Kalkaska territory, about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, great job of Webb using his legs. I think that's
We'll give him the 40.
looks like the 3rd time that they've done a design quarterback run. So week 1 didn't see a lot of them. Week 2, still not too much. Absence of Max Beal. Definitely seen a little bit more of Webb using his legs. Nothing too crazy, but a little bit more. And Aiden Childs, week 3, I'm just going to have to see more from him. I think like you said, it's only week 3.
I'll be more curious about the defense and stopping this dual threat quarterback and
Yeah.
seeing if they can put a full game together. Low snap, but still taken by a Webb and given to Henry, where he's able to hang on to it, get up the middle. Nice chunk play by Henry on 1st down. They get at least 5 on that play, 2nd down.
Yeah, it looked like a 7-yard gain there. And offensive line still looking great. It does look like, excuse me, I got a Thomas Mayhew. Looks like he's back in the game.
Nice. Nate Cannon on the tackle for Kalkaska. Finished out the in-state games for college this weekend. 0-2 Eastern is at Kentucky. And 0-2 Western gets the lottery by going to number 9, Illinois. My dark horse for the Big Ten. Flag on the play as Brady Wilson goes around the right side for, looks like it could be a first down. Let's wait and see what the flag is. Holding. Probably on the offense.
It looks like it's going to be on the defense.
But he didn't give a point, so I was just kind of expecting it to be on the offense. And we're headed backwards. So we'll march him back 10, and we'll keep her 2nd down.
Yeah, a lot of good Michigan games on, but, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Don't forget to stick around for the Next Level halftime show. Jared and I will talk about the events of the first half and some keys that possibly either team could pull it out in the second half, as we got a nice close game, 8-6 Kalkaska right now with about a little over 7 minutes to go in the half. Webb out of the gun, dropping back, looking to pass, going through his progressions. Gets to the right side, almost, tipped off the hands of Brady Wilson and into the waiting arms. As soon as he turns around, it looks like, is that Curtis Crawford? Yep, it was number 3, Curtis Crawford. Well, again, off the nice tip pass as he's reaching out, and the right guy at the right spot for Crawford to come up with that.
Hey, the tip drill, you practice it in practice, and there's it playing off right there. You always got to be ready for those live balls.
Yes, sir. Yeah, almost like they knew what they were doing. 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I actually believe week 1, my Cincinnati Bengals, both of our interceptions came off tip passes. So,
hey, don't talk about Cincinnati intercepting. Burrow's my fantasy quarterback. It looks like we've got another timeout. Looks like a timeout by the Kalkaska Blazers. It's time to get away to your dream destination. Like many, that means flying into Northern Michigan. Whether you're looking to fly in or out of Northern Michigan this fall, look to fly, then take to the sky with TVC. Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport is your best gateway to the world, offering services from Allegiant, American, Delta, Sun Country, and United Airlines. Visit tvcairport.com for up-to-the-minute flight schedules and to book your next getaway today. My wife and I always use TVC. We talk about this every year. When we go on our buying trip for the lake house, we spend a week in Atlanta, and we always use Delta out of TVC, and TVC does a great job.
Nothing better than a small airport, Eric. That's what I gotta say.
Man, yeah, absolutely. It's so nice to not have that 3 or 4 hour drive back home after you've spent a week. And again, when we go on our buying trip, it's like it's 3 buildings of 15 floors, and we spend a week down there, and it's just you're walking 5+ miles a day. And so it's nice to have that short trip to be able to get home and just relax and see all of my 11 pets.
Oh, I'm sure they miss you too.
I had to pause because I have 2 grandpets that stay with me, so I actually have 13 in the house right now.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah. All I wanted was a starting 5, and I ended up with 11. Yeah.
Well, you got an NBA roster.
Yeah. Webb going to fake the handoff. He's going to try up the middle. Maybe a yard on that. It'll be 4th and 1.
No.
Maybe a half yard.
This is the area, Eric, where you could potentially see a field goal. Potentially.
But I'm going to ask you what you're going to run right now.
Well, I'm going to keep it on the ground. I might.
Okay.
I
So
think I'm going to go to an edge.
Okay, you're going to try to go around the edge. You're not going to do any type of dive or wham. You're going to try to get around the edge there, or a quick pass out into the flat, or what do you want to do? It's you got a half a yard to go.
I think they're just going to run it up the gut here, so we're going to see it.
Should have a lead blocker. Yep, Garrison Henry gets a nice lead blocker. He'll get plenty of yards for the first down. 1st and 10, Red Devils, 5:38 to go as they pause the clock. Did they move the sticks?
And honestly, after I said that, I was like, what's the strength of this team? Their centers and their guards. You keep the ball up the middle, just a few yards. Your team can get that. Confidence in the coach showed right there.
First down, Red Devils. Ball resting on the 27-yard line. 8-6, Kalkaska. Hand off to Henry. Another nice gainer up the middle. Again, we're starting to get, I don't want to call it fatigue because we're only in the first half, but yeah, you've got some established up the middle runs for both sides now.
Yeah, staple of both these teams is getting those, the interior guys moving, gets the second level, and then break away for that touchdown run. And you saw they had a pretty nice yard, Kalkaska, 20-plus yard gain by their running back, but by Seidelman. Are they going to keep it on the ground here? I think they're going to try and milk as much time off this clock as they can.
Webb going to roll left. Both of us running back. We had another flag on the play. Both of us running backs are playing blockers. He puts a hand on Henry and tries to push him ahead to try to set him up, and he'll get a gain of a couple, but let's see what the flag is. 14-7, Charlevoix still over Tawas in the second period now. Another holding call against the Red Devils is our announcer in the room beside us. So nicely said loud enough so I could hear it.
Yeah, and that's the second holding penalty on this drive. They want to stay ahead of the sticks, want to try and get as much clock off here, keep the ball on the ground as much as possible, as this is going to be a 2nd and long. Looks like they're going to back them up. Is that a 2nd and 17 yards?
Down in Benzie Central. Gladiator is up 21-0 on Benzie Central at the moment. Kind of going the way we kind of thought that one was going to go down there. Nice pass. Boy, nice job of opening up the middle and a nice pitch and catch to Brady Wilson there. Not able to get around and gain some yak yards, but it's still a nice pitch and catch there. Nice gain on the play. 3rd and we'll give him a long 4.
Yeah, just good procedure.
Short 5.
Yeah, just good procedures all around. Good routes by all the wide receivers, getting clear in the middle for Brady Wilson. Good protection from the offensive line and a beautiful throw to complete that nice play for 6 yards. Actually, it was more about 10 yards because it was 2nd and 17.
Nice hard count by Webb. He's going to get Kalkaska offsides again. They're probably enough for a first down after the mark off.
And even with the penalties, 2 holding calls and 2nd and longs, doesn't really seem to waver this offense. They're starting to heat up on their 4th drive, scoring on the 3rd, looking to continue that on the 4th.
Clock winds back up 1st and 10. Red Devils from the 18-yard line. 3:30 to go in the first half. East Jordan still down 2 points.
And they're getting the play out there, and we're going to see trips out to the wide side of the field for East Jordan. One of the first times we've seen them. Actually, an empty set here for Webb.
Yeah, I got a nice. You're getting a wall set up there on the right side for Webb, though. You had a lineman pull and try to set up that wall on the right side. Not quite to get all that set up, but still a few yards on that play. Be second about 8.
Yeah, and you can see the experience from Webb playing as wide receiver a lot of times because they did do a lot of those sweeps with him, and he's a very patient guy. He tries to wait for his blockers so he can take that ball all the way downfield, not just for a couple-yard gain. Sometimes that works out for you. A lot of times it will. there, minimal gain, but still you like the vision from the young quarterback.
Clock continuing to run. Webb out of the gun. Ooh, Carey had 2 in motion there. They both reset, so we're good to go. Webb going to keep it. Tries that dive play on the right side. He'll gain a few on that play. Probably our last check-in for the Forest Area Gaylord St. Mary's game. It is currently 32-0.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I think we're going to see a running clock there in the second half, Eric.
Yeah. Again, during our Next Level broadcasting show that we do every Thursday, previewing every week's games leading up to, we kind of thought that this could be the way that game would go. So no surprise.
Clock.
Go ahead, Jared. You're good.
I was going to say clock just goes under 2 minutes, and we're going to see if this East Jordan team can punch it in.
Oh, yeah. Henry lowers his head. He kept that low balanced center of gravity and just had his head up and just looking to see where the holes were and see if he needed to lower that head to try to run somebody over. He was determined to keep going forward and not get stopped or go backward.
Yeah, and he's kind of, he's a little bit of a bigger guy, kind of like the bowling ball, bouncing off those pins, trying to bounce off one and spring it free.
And again, doing a good job of running the clock down to East Jordan, and especially with this run game right now. You got first and goal from the 4. 1 in motion. Henry gets a handoff up the middle and in for the score. Touchdown, Red Devils.
Yeah, and that is a great drive from them, from the East Jordan Red Devils there. They really didn't want to give the, Kalkaska does get the ball at half. They didn't want to give them any chances to get any funny business going, and they just did their job, milked that clock. Minute 16 left for them on the official game clock.
Garrison Henry on the 4-yard run. It's become the Webb and Henry for one side and Seidelman Wilkinson for the other right now. It's like it's the battle of the 2 duos right now. Point after attempt. Webb almost tries to get through. He does get through that one tackler, and then he's surrounded by a host of Blazers, and he's dropped for no good on the 2-point conversion. So the score will be East Jordan 12 and Kalkaska 8. 1:16 to go in the first half. During the time of mergers, acquisitions, and name changes, the founders of Charlevoix State Bank saw a need for a truly local bank focused on their community and strong customer relationships. Those values continue to drive them today as they are proud to support local Charlevoix County schools such as East Jordan. That's Charlevoix State Bank. 1:16 left to go in a half. Again, thank you so much for joining us on Next Level Broadcasting. Eric Huffman and my partner Jared Stamen, Ryan Bentley out giving us the shots you love to see. We'll talk about the game during our Next Level halftime show. Give you some pointers, some tidbits, maybe some keys the second half. What Kalkaska may need to do to pull out a victory, what East Jordan could do to hang on, as got kind of a back-and-forth battle right now, and I will admit, a little better game than kind of what I was expecting, even though you got 2 2-0 teams just from what I saw from the schedules. I thought it'd be a little more one-sided one way, but I am pleasantly surprised about what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, Eric, you took the words right out of my mouth. We were talking pregame. They are 2-0 games. You kind of mentioned this earlier. Who is legit 2-0? 2-0 is kind of that funny ground where you're either a really good team and you think you're on that cusp of making it, or you just got an easy schedule those first 2 games and you're going to get pummeled the rest of the season. I'm really impressed with Kalkaska. I think this is exactly the way they want to start the game. Getting pulled.
Oh, little fumble on the kickoff. So it wasn't quite the setup you were talking about, but they did set up that kick to go into that open little area that they like to do that I saw from the one replay from the Manistee game. And again, a fumbled exchange by the Kalkaska receiver there, but they'll keep possession 1st and 10 with 1:12 to go.
Yeah, Kalkaska probably hoping there if they could, spring a little something, get on enemy territory there and potentially get in field goal range, make this a field goal game going into halftime. But I'm not going to be surprised here if Kalkaska's not really going to push the ball too much, just knowing they get ball at half. They're only down 4 points. Let's not make any mistakes that are going to make, jeopardize what we got going on.
So you want to take any chances with a minute 12, or are you just going to look to just kind of see what you can get out of it while trying to keep possession of the ball, as Wilkinson's going to hang it on after faking the handoff to Seidelman? He'd get maybe a yard on the play, then forced back by a bunch of Red Devils.
Yeah, I think what they just did right there is great. Run the ball, you break away for a 10, 15-yard, you could take a timeout and readdress it from there. But with a minute 16, it's just there's no reason to make a stupid mistake and let East Jordan, get a turnover, get into field goal range, maybe even get 6.
Landon Spear, one of the few Red Devils in on that tackle. Down to about 30 seconds left to go in the half. Kalkaska doesn't seem to be in too big of a hurry. Seidelman with the handoff. Nice sidestep. He'll get at least a first down. Eludes another tackler, gets past the 50-yard line. Makes you want to think, do you want to wait? Do you want to call a timeout? Because you got some time left. 18 seconds left to go. You got a first down at East Jordan's, looks like about 47-yard line. Again, 18.8 seconds to go. Maybe try a couple chunks down the field. Or, again, you've been so well with the chunk plays on the running game. Do you try to get another chunk running play out before you try to air it out?
Well, ended up taking the time out there. And, just a continuous Seidelman he came in here with a vengeance. He is wanting to win this game. I believe last year Kalkaska did lose to East Jordan.
Yeah, well, it was 44-13.
That's not a game that, you're going to take lightly, losing by multiple scores like that. And I think you can kind of see it. This Kalkaska squad has been impressive so far, playing really physical.
While we keep it here during the timeout, mentioning the 44-13 score, you've got schools, depending on proximity, that it doesn't matter what, that you consider a rivalry game. But I wouldn't consider this a rivalry game. But would this be something compared to last year that certain players may have penciled in or circled on their calendar, especially from the Kalkaska side?
Absolutely. It takes one player on another team to make that game personal and make you want to prove to them that you're better and this is your game to win. And, yeah, you might have the on-squad better pay on team, but when it comes, to real life, we're going to beat you down.
First and 10 Kalkaska, 18.8 left to go in the half. Let's see what they've got. Seidelman with the handoff. He gets the right side again. He's going to get 8, maybe 10. They will give him 11 yards on that play. Will they call another timeout? They got to move the sticks first. They'll call that. And you only wasted, about 7 seconds off of that.
Yeah, another great run, a 10-yard plus run.
And we'll get a stoppage of the clock. Again, another timeout by Kalkaska. And as I look, that is their final timeout. So we'll have to see what they come up with. Can they get something towards the – so we'll keep it here again with 11 seconds left. Is this something with being on the right hash? Is that something they try Seidelman again on the right side, try to get out of bounds and get a little bit closer? Do they want to try something down the field? Because if it's an incompletion, you have time left on the clock. What would you like to do out of this timeout, Jared?
It's an interesting spot for sure. I believe they got no more timeouts. So – they could move the chains. And
that's the thing why I mentioned the right hash, because if you don't get out of bounds, then you're basically ending the half.
And so what they could potentially do here, Eric, is bank on getting the first down with a run and try and spike it in field goal range. With less than 11 seconds by the time that happens, that would be a risky play, but we're going to see trips to the wide side of the field.
Well, they had trips to the left, and he tries the one on the right. He gets a nice reception and a first down. Let's see if they can't get, you said, get set up in time. They're running up there, getting set up like they should. As soon as they set it, the referee will start the clock, and let's see if they can't get it spiked in time before time runs out.
6.2 on the official clock.
Winds the clock, and they're just going to go, and they're going to loft it up again on the right side. And it's going to fall incomplete. Pass intended for Zach Porter. That's who was on the last reception, too, as they sent trips to the left and just tried to loft it up there. Maybe just, the bigger receiver over the two smaller defenders, maybe he can high point that, but it was just the pass was a little bit too far.
Yeah, East Jordan knew who they were going to go to instantly, 2 guys on the wide receiver, but they do actually have 0.3 seconds left on the clock here. Clearly they don't feel comfortable with field goal range, more comfortable, and this could be a huge momentum swing for Kalkaska if they could get this right here.
Same setup. third straight play, and they're going to try the right side again. They got Porter. Oh, they had a nice opportunity. It hit Porter's hands, and then you had the second East Jordan defender come in and knock that ball away for an incomplete pass. And that is going to, I believe, I don't see anything going on. So, yes, that will end the first half. So after 2 periods of play, it is East Jordan Red Devils 12 and the Kalkaska Blazers 8. We'll be back after Jared pays Charles's bills with the Next Level Broadcasting halftime show. You are watching East Jordan football on Next Level Broadcasting, simulcast on nextlevelbroadcasting.net, and on YouTube. Search Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back in a few.
Do you have the commercial sheet? Oh, right there, bud.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Today's game is brought to you by Professional Seamless Gutters, Burnett Foods, the Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center, Charlevoix State Bank, TVC Cherry Capital Airport, EJ, East Jordan Plastics Incorporated, and Active Recovery, Physical Therapy, and Sports Rehab. We hope you are enjoying tonight's game.
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th through 12th grade teens with after-school programming 3 days a week with a hot, nutritious meal. On Thursdays after school, the Depot provides life skill classes like cooking, art, and career readiness. And new this year is Becoming You, a program for homeschool students that provides a structured environment, tutoring, and a healthy lunch. For more info on all of our programs, please visit ejdepot.org.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods, with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th to 12th grade teens. With after-school programming 4 days a week and our new Becoming You homeschool support program 3 days a week, we are always looking for passionate people to join our Depot volunteer family. Simply visit ejdepot.org/volunteer to discover how you can make a difference in the lives of our teens.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Today's game is brought to you by Professional Seamless Gutters, Burnett Foods, the Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center, Charlevoix State Bank, TVC Cherry Capital Airport, EJ, East Jordan Plastics Incorporated, and Active Recovery, Physical Therapy, and Sports Rehab. We hope you are enjoying tonight's game.
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th through 12th grade teens with after-school programming 3 days a week with a hot, nutritious meal. On Thursdays after school, the Depot provides life skill classes like cooking, art, and career readiness. And new this year is Becoming You, a program for homeschool students that provides a structured environment, tutoring, and a healthy lunch. For more info on all of our programs, please visit ejdepot.org.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th to 12th grade teens. With after-school programming 4 days a week and our new Becoming You homeschool support program 3 days a week, we are always looking for passionate people to join our Depot volunteer family. Simply visit ejdepot.org/volunteer to discover how you can make a difference in the lives of our teens.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your northern Michigan connection.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Next Level Broadcasting halftime show. Eric Huffman and Jared Stamen coming live from East Jordan High School, Boswell Stadium. What a beautiful atmosphere. I was talking to you when we were going over pregame notes sitting in the stands when they were still empty. No better stadium to come watch. And I know I talked about a while ago, they used to alternate here with Harbor Springs on homecoming. They would have the Saturday afternoon 1 o'clock games, and no better atmosphere to come into Boswell Stadium in the middle of October on a Saturday afternoon with all these trees and the fall colors around. What a great atmosphere and setting this place is.
Yeah, it's really an honor to be on Boswell Field tonight. I was really happy when I saw this was on the schedule. You know, a month later, I'll have to come maybe as a fan and watch a game if I'm not doing a broadcast, because it is a beautiful venue, and if all these colors, all these trees are nice fiery reds and oranges, I can't even imagine.
Well, getting back to the game here, we are 12-8, East Jordan over Kalkaska. A little over, we got about 10 minutes left to go in halftime here. So I'll briefly talk about the first half, and it was everybody kind of a feel-out period. You had East Jordan's first possession. They marched down the field a little bit, and it looked like they were about to establish themselves. Kalkaska ended up stuffing them. And then it just became kind of a between the 30s battle for almost about a period length. Nobody really able to establish consistent offense. And then you had East Jordan with the big play finally. It looked like they'd been setting it up. And then they finally leaked Brady Wilson out for a long bomb from William Webb for their touchdown, for their first touchdown. And then Kalkaska finally, Seidelman was his drive basically. I think it was finished off by another player, but that was Seidelman's drive there, really getting chunk play after chunk play, and it really has been the story of the game so far is chunk plays up the middle by the running backs.
Yeah, I mean, East Jordan went out there, their third drive, they finally got points on the board. First drive, it looked like East Jordan was going to come out here and potentially just score. And that's kind of what we maybe thought going into this game. But Kalkaska, after getting that first drive stopped, they stuffed them on the second drive, and they did let that long touchdown pass go. But then they answered right back with a point of their own, and they got the 2-point conversion to be up 2 points at that moment in the game. They've stopped them on both of East Jordan's 2-point conversions. They are 0 for 2, so they're only down 4 points. A touchdown puts you up 2 points. Kalkaska's got to be pretty happy getting ball at half.
And for the most part, for Kalkaska, that one huge play, again, they had been doing a good job of basically stuffing the run and getting rid of the chunk plays up until that happened. And then they started worrying about the pass, and then they started giving up chunk plays up the middle. So we'll see which team makes the better adjustments going into the second half. East Jordan still with a 12-8 lead, and I think this is anybody's game. So if you had to key on one thing for Kalkaska, offense or defense, just pick one thing on either side. What's one thing that they should focus on in the second half?
I think it's defense because of offense, in the sense that if they can get stops and let Seidelman just continue to run this ball, they're going to win the game. It's just their defense needs to keep them in a point where they can continue to run the ball, and it's not we're fighting the clock, we got to get 2 scores and we got 5 minutes left. But if they can keep this game between one possession, Seidelman I think is the key for them winning, but that starts with defense.
Yeah, and on the East Jordan side, I'm going to say what my key is going to be is the one thing that I told you earlier on that I fell in love with about this team, and that is their offensive line. As they've been able to establish their line a little bit, they've been able to get some more chunk plays from the run and able to get William Webb to be able, he can roll out without having people in his face and find those open guys, or be able to take a quick drop step and find, I think they found somebody with a crossing route through the middle there for a nice big play. Yeah, it was Brady Wilson for a nice chunk play there. So the offensive line for East Jordan, I think if they can reestablish themselves and let it be known that nobody's getting into Webb and Webb gets that confidence, I think that opens up the book for East Jordan in the second half.
Well, we've got less than 4 minutes until the fellows come back out in the field and start their warm-ups. We're talking a little bit about college. Now let's swing over to the Lions.
Yeah, so
1-1. Not the best showing week 1, but hey, it's week 1, playing at Lambeau Field, new coordinators, Micah Parsons, a lot of new pieces for Detroit to kind of figure out thrown into that week 1. What were your thoughts?
I think the Detroit Lions were a product of the system, and it is now a new system, and we've now got to figure that out. And the fact that we did not spend enough time putting that system together, it almost looked like a JV team out there last week. And it's not just because I drafted Green Bay's defense after Micah Parsons got traded either. They did give me 11 points, so thank you, Green Bay. But I think it is a product of system stuff, and I don't want to say too much about Jared Goff because Charles will reach through this headset and start choking me. He is a large, huge Jared Goff fan, to say the least. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just watch the Next Level Broadcasting show from yesterday, and you'll see him light up Jared for about 2 minutes about criticizing Jared Goff's play.
Yeah, and, I've been a Jared Goff fan. Naturally, he's got the same name as me, and it's hard to, there's not a lot of Jared, especially going number 1 overall in the draft. So I've been a fan of him, and it's nothing against Jared Goff. Great guy, Bengals fan at heart, unfortunately from Ohio. But I will say, I do think Dan Campbell is the ultimate key to that puzzle, and if they can get just the wheels turning, they'll start playing for Dan Campbell great. Jared Goff, though, sorry, Charles. You already know how I feel.
What will you?
Not the answer.
What you say if they lose at home this week to Chicago?
I think it's a wake-up call that I think this game, it's week 2. I hate to say this is a must-win game.
If they're not awake now, then they're going to stay asleep. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, we got about a little less than 2 minutes to go. We're going to pay a couple more Charles's bills. Both teams coming back out on the field. They'll have a few minutes to warm up, and then we'll get ready for the second half kickoff. You're watching East Jordan football on Next Level Broadcasting, simulcast on nextlevelbroadcasting.net and on YouTube. Search Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back in a few.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th to 12th grade teens. With after-school programming 4 days a week and our new Becoming You homeschool support program 3 days a week, we are always looking for passionate people to join our Depot volunteer family. Simply visit ejdepot.org/volunteer to discover how you can make a difference in the lives of our teens.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th through 12th grade teens with after-school programming 3 days a week with a hot, nutritious meal. On Thursdays after school, the Depot provides life skill classes like cooking, art, and career readiness. And new this year is Becoming You, a program for homeschool students that provides a structured environment, tutoring, and a healthy lunch. For more info on all of our programs, please visit ejdepot.org.
Today's game is brought to you by Professional Seamless Gutters, Burnett Foods, the Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center, Charlevoix State Bank, TVC Cherry Capital Airport, EJ, East Jordan Plastics Incorporated, and Active Recovery, Physical Therapy, and Sports Rehab. We hope you are enjoying tonight's game.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our Northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th to 12th grade teens. With after-school programming 4 days a week and our new Becoming You homeschool support program 3 days a week, we are always looking for passionate people to join our Depot volunteer family. Simply visit ejdepot.org/volunteer to discover how you can make a difference in the lives of our teens.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
And we'll be going back.
Welcome back to East Jordan High School and Boswell Stadium, getting ready for the second half kickoff. East Jordan Red Devils leading the Kalkaska Blazers 12-8. Eric Huffman and Jared Steeman up in the booth giving you the play-by-play and best color commentary that Charles Strail can buy. And a flag on a play on the kickoff. Let's see what we've got going on. Could be, when you try to kick like that, it could be some with illegal procedure or somebody lining up off. So let's see what they end up with the call here. Meeting of the minds here in the middle of the field. Not quite sure, as we didn't really get any type of signal from the first and 10 Kalkaska at East Jordan's 49-yard line after all that confusion.
Yeah, must have been something.
But that's the last thing you want to do. You got I want to say, confident Kalkaska team starting their first possession of the second half on East Jordan's side. Yeah, a nice run by Seidelman, sidestepping a couple. He's the first down and more. He's down to the 30. He hits 25 to 20, 15, and he's wrestled down inside the 10-yard line. What a great first play from Seidelman for the Blazers.
Wow, absolutely another angry run. I mean, he is just on fire tonight. And
yeah, you can see look at him jumping around, Seidelman even coming out of that, getting tackled, jumping around. You can tell he's excited and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, Eric, I think something happened last year between them in this game. You know, they did lose in a bit of an embarrassing fashion overall, and I think that Seidelman took that to heart because he's running out here like this is his last game on the field.
You know, and Seidelman's only a junior, so if he can run like this and sustain that, it'll be a great season this year. It only bodes well for next year, too. Seidelman again on the carry. They know where to give the ball, and he's going to muscle his way for some more yards up the middle. See where they spot the ball, just a little short of the goal line.
And it seems like the first tackler can just never seem to get him down. It's always the second and a third that have to wrap him up. He is just a monster out there, seeking contact and bouncing right off it.
After the play, be second goal from, looks like just outside the 2. Boy, what a great way to start the second half. You know, you get the kickoff on their side of the 50, and you're not even a couple minutes into the game, and you could be retaking the lead. Full house backfield. Usually sets up for Wilkinson to be the last one through. A nice job by the Red Devils getting through that line and stopping them for no gain.
Yeah, and this could be a huge defensive stop. I mean, Kalkaska gets the lead. You kind of said to start, they did have some momentum going into halftime. They almost put 6 on the board with less than a minute left.
Inigo Noffin on that play. Third and goal from the 2.
Yeah, they hope to get here, but East Jordan, 2 good defensive drives. I mean, after all the runs so far, you'd think it would be a nice punch-in for the Kalkaska offense, but East Jordan staying strong here, and this is going to be a third and goal from about the 2 or 3.
Yeah, it looks like they lost a yard or 2 on that play. They're marking their scorekeeper's giving them the 4-yard line. So it looks good since we're standing here at the 50. Wilkinson going to hand out the side of him, but he got tripped up in the backfield. He's going to get no gain on that play. It'll be 4th and goal.
Wow.
You know, we talked about in the first half, you know, if you get sidestepped or take too much time in the backfield and don't have that momentum going, that's when things get blown up, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, huge play here on 4th down. I mean, momentum kind of on the pendulum here. It's going to go Kalkaska's way if they get 6, and they're going to go right back to East Jordan
so
if they stop them.
You give it to your man Seidelman, or are you going to try something different?
I think you stay with what works and give it to number 8.
Wilkinson, he's got a couple lead backers. Seidelman going to try it, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Kalkaska. Nolan Seidelman out from 2 yards in. Kalkaska going to retake the lead, 14-12 currently.
Yeah, and I can't say I disagree with the call. Best man, he's been making men miss all day, breaking off the first tackle, and shows it there. I think he actually got touched behind or in front of the goal line, but contact not wearing him, and he ended up punching it in for 6.
You know, Kalkaska's done a great job, not just with their line, but the way they set up their backs or get their lead blockers set up, depending on what they're going to do, and the way they're finding the defenders to make sure they're getting a nice pop and getting Seidelman lots of room, or at least enough room to be able to get ahead of steam going.
Yeah, big 2-point conversion here. They can make it a 4-point game.
Wilkinson will look the pass. You throw it out in the flat. It is to Seidelman. Conversion is good for 2 points. That'll make the score Kalkaska Blazers 16, East Jordan Red Devils 12 coming into the second half. So, Jared, great start for Kalkaska. So you've got East Jordan coming back for their first possession of the second half. As we'll keep it right here. So what do you think? Kalkaska coming out very confident. You know, what would you like to see from East Jordan coming out of that possession, as they basically got smacked in the mouth on that possession?
Yeah, quite frankly, their last drive before halftime, there was a multiple, I believe it might have even been almost 10-minute drive. Just, stick with their front. Their strength is their center guard combo. Keep it up the middle. Keep wearing down this team so when they go back on offense, their line's quite tired. And I think that's really, you keep it simple. Don't try to do too much if you're East Jordan.
Again, we thank you all for joining us on Next Level Broadcasting. Don't forget, you can check us out on nextlevelbroadcasting.net and see all 5 games that are being played tonight, as I have my screen watching the other 4 currently right now. Forest Area, Gaylord St. Mary's, Traverse City St. Francis at Benzie Central, Elk Rapids at Oscoda, and Charlevoix visiting Tawas tonight. All 4 games currently going. East Jordan on the kickoff. He gets to the 20. Hit about the 18, wrestled down, or at the 23, wrestled down about 25-yard line where they'll take over 1st and 10. 9:16 to go in the 3rd. Yeah, I got a quick shout-out. We were talking on the Next Level show one day about dark horses. Not only dark horses win the Big Ten, as I mentioned Illinois earlier, but dark horses to make the playoffs. And I mentioned the team, UNLV, the Running Rebels. The new coach in Dan Mullen. The Running Rebs are currently 3-0 and starting to make some noise. So I got to give a shout out to my dark horse, UNLV. Webb on 1st down, keeps the high snap, sidesteps a couple. He'll gain a few on that play, 2nd down.
Yeah, UNLV, it's interesting. Couple little tidbits. One of my controversial favorite all-time Bengals player, Vontaze Burfict, actually is their linebackers coach there.
Well, you're talking some players.
Yeah, I also believe the Alec, I can't remember his last name, the intern head coach for the Raiders last year. I think he actually joined their staff as their DC.
The last time I really worried about UNLV was back when Jerry Tarkanian was coaching and Larry Johnson was on the team, and it was basketball.
Yeah.
Webb, he tries the guy out in the flat, looking for setting up the screen pass out to the right, and it looks like it's going to fall just short of the receiver, incomplete.
Yeah, I like the play there, getting them out in space. I think that's really been a bread and butter play, getting their playmakers out in space, whether that's Penny or if that's Brady Wilson. But UNLV, it's funny you said that. I was about to say, the only thing I know about them is Greg Anthony in that UNLV team. So
it's about the same time frame, so not too bad. I'll give you some credit on that one.
2K25 or those types of games. That's actually funny enough where my knowledge of that has come.
That was back when I still played 2K. Yeah.
Well, he's been the announcer for a long time, Eric.
3rd period down in Benzie Central. Gladiators leading 34-7 over the Huskies. Nice play out to the left by East Jordan. They're going to get a 1st down to the 40-yard line. Nice reception by Garrison Henry, 1st and 10, Red Devils.
Yeah, great job by the blockers getting out there in space and giving them room to pick up that 1st down there on 3rd down.
And again, I can't say enough about East Jordan's offensive line. The way they can set up and block their scheme. And again, I watched the Manistee highlights. I keep saying this, but man, they were fun to watch. The way they can create some holes and execute. See a nice pull there. I'll talk about it here in a second. Webb going to keep it, but he had Griffin Boyer, the left tackle, stand up and pull and go to the right and set up that block for Webb. It reminds me when I played, I was a receiver, and at one time I think I might have actually been against East Jordan. This is way back in the 1990, I think, or something like that. We pulled a tackle like that because we tried some type of reverse play behind that tackle, and kind of the same thing that he just did. He went and just blew up the end, and I came in behind him and went 60-some-odd yards. But yeah, nice setup by the tackle there, and a nice run by Webb.
Yeah, we do give a lot of attention to the centers and the guards, but those tackles out there are still doing the Lord's work out there blocking.
Yes. Yeah, doing our Lord's. When they pull like that, you got to start praying. Yeah. Up and high there on Garrison Henry, just below the helmet, so it's still legal, but still a nice high grab and rip down.
Yeah, Zach Porter there on the clothesline saying no more yards for you, Mr. Henry.
After the tackle by Porter to be 3rd and 3. 6:55 to go in the 3rd. Kalkaska now leads 16-12 over East Jordan.
And they've been staying on schedule, just not trying to do too much, keeping it on the ground, keeping those 4 to 5 yard games going, and keeping those chains moving.
Webb takes the snap. Hand off to Henry. Flag on the play. We'll see what that is here in a second. Henry's going to lunge forward for a 1st down, but we'll see what the flag is. Looks like we got a Kalkaska player injured right in front of us here. Don't know if it's a cramp or not, but the way he was stretching his leg out, you're not sure, but we'll see as they'll get some attention here on the sideline. That'll be the third holding penalty against the Red Devils. Those have been drive killers almost.
Well, thankfully they've, even
or
though
at least
they've
momentum killers, I'll say.
They've been momentum killers, but they still, this team just seems to be like, you know what? You're going to give us more yards to gain more yards? We're just going to do that. This offense has really just been stout out there, getting as many yards as they can after their first score.
Well, we got this injury timeout here. I'd like to talk about Bingham Insurance Company. During the course of each and every day, we all face an abundance of risk, some that we don't even consider, some we do. For protection against the foreseeable and unforeseeable risk is where Bingham Insurance Company comes in, capable of providing coverage for your home, auto, life, and even pet insurance, as I mentioned. I got 13 in my house, so thank you. They do it all. That's Bingham Insurance Services, a trusted and proud auto owners insurance affiliate. Walking off under his own power, Tommy McKee, senior lineman.
Yeah, we'd love to see him jog off there now. Looking, looks, good sign so far for Kalkaska. And it's the senior season. The last thing you want to do is have an injury derail it.
Yeah, when we get a minute here, we'll get into. They just released the coaches poll for the state rankings.
Oh.
So we'll talk about and see if there's any local or area teams that have made any of the division rankings. We'll get into that here in a minute. Webb out of the gun. He's looking to pass. He's going to sidestep and go to the right. Eludes tackler. And that tackler still, he's going to wrap him up, pick him up, and wrestle him down. Nice job by Jake Ingersoll to bring down Webb for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, and on third down there, they tried to air it out. Pocket gave up. Webb trying to make a play with his legs and wrapped up there and slammed down to the ground quite hard. You can see that. I think this Kalkaska team can sense there's some blood in the water here. Up 4 points, on the road. I think they probably heard some of the talk that East Jordan might come in here and, run away with this game. And Kalkaska is saying, not so fast.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Some of the talk might have been my own, too. Again, because I'd seen Kalkaska in week 1 against Elk Rapids. And, and after watching the highlights of East Jordan's first 2 games, did not expect this as we got almost it was a worm burner of a snap back to the punter. Kalkaska going to let it bounce where East Jordan will down it. Blazers will take over first and 10 at about the 28-yard line. 5:20 to go in the third period.
Yeah, only a 36-yard punt there. And, you kind of were mentioning this earlier, talking about quarterbacks that were also punters. William Webb just punted that ball.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking in the booth a couple weeks ago about the great Danny White from the Dallas Cowboys who not only played quarterback, was the quarterback after Staubach, but also did the punting as well. And I always talk about the handoff to Tony Dorsett from the 1-yard line against the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football. Danny White, one of my favorite quarterbacks. That was back when I liked the Cowboys. Wilkinson on a handoff. They'll give him about a yard and a half. We'll make it a second and a long 8.
And this is a really big drive for momentum. If this Kalkaska team can methodically, in a perfect world, at least the third quarter, get down the field, punch it in for 6. And you know what? The 2-point conversion at that point, it's not the biggest deal. You're up 2 points, and you'd be up, 22 to 12 if you got the 6 points, whether you got the extra point or the 2-point or not. Really big drive here.
Wilkinson on second and 8. Hand off the side. It almost looked like it was partially knocked out, but he kept possession. We got another flag on the play. Let's hope this isn't fatigue that's causing the flags, and hopefully that can get cleaned up as we're losing a little flow to the game right now.
Yeah, flags have early in the second half have been a little bit more laundry on the field than I know both teams would like.
Or did they pick that up? Because I swore I saw a flag go up in the air, but either they picked it up or I didn't see a flag, one or the other. Again, I'm in my 50s. I don't have my glasses on.
Well, either way, we've got a 3rd and 6 here, Eric.
Sideline on to carry. He's going to carry a couple of Red Devils with him before the rest of their buddies come up and hold them there.
Yeah, and I just can't really say enough good things about Sidestrow. I mean, Seidelman, he is just an animal out there. And, one of my kind of things I like to see if there's any, traits I see in maybe these upper echelon players. And, not exactly the same, but just a hard-nosed running back, my mind instantly goes to Cam Scatabo on the New York Giants.
And here you go, 4th and 1 from your own 37-yard line. Is it give a 4th and about half a yard now? Is that a let's go for it and see what happens type deal? Which it looks like it may be as we've got them spread out again. Now, again, if you've heard me talk about Kalkaska, what happens when they pull out in the spread offense most of the time?
Yeah, they might be looking for a screen
here. And hard counted East Jordan into an offsides. Let's make sure that they all stood firm. And they did. We'll mark it ahead 5 yards, 1st and 10 in Kalkaska. East Jordan just wanting to stuff that 4th and 1, thinking that they were going to go for it.
Yeah, those are the plays that are going to have you going gray early as a young head coach. But, they did line up in it. They were ready for the run, and I actually think Kalkaska, East Jordan might have got lucky jumping off sides there, because I think if they would have run it out in the screen pass there, they had 2 defenders. That is it out there. So if they would have got 2 blocks, they would have been gone for 6 points.
1st and 10 Blazers. Seidelman on the carry. He whams it on the left side for a gain of a couple.
Another little thing I've noticed, East Jordan is really, I think they maybe underestimated how much Seidelman was going to punish them with these hits. And there's instantly so many more guys wrapping around him. And I feel like there's been a more conceited effort to not let him get those legs keep going and, take a 2-yard gain to a 5, 10, 15-yard gain as he showed as he can do.
Closing in on 2 minutes to go in the third period. Still 16-12 Kalkaska. 2nd and 7. Seidelman again on a handoff on the left side. Again, you're averaging, not quite the, we were talking about 5 to 8 yard chunk plays from the first half, but you're still getting 3 to 4 on every play, and if you can get 3 to 4 even on first down, coaches will take that.
Yeah, and they're not easy 3-yard gains. I mean, he fought off one Devil just for, 2 yards on that play, and multiple Devils there to, after the first missed tackle, and he is just a monster out there. I mean, I'm really impressed with how he's played so far.
3rd and 4. Ball resting on the 48. Wilkinson fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it. Jumps over the pile. Looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. After the lunge forward, they'll move the sticks. 1st and 10 Kalkaska on East Jordan side of the 50-yard line now. And real quick, we'll just slowly start getting into some of these high school football rankings. Released on the MHSAA website and released by the coach. This is kind of the coaches poll for the state of Michigan. So as we go into Division I, we can kind of skip through that. There are no area teams in Division I currently ranked, and none in Division II, unless you count Muskegon, but that's not close enough. So we'll wait till after this play, and we'll go through Divisions 3 and 4. Wilkinson on the high snap. Seidelman on the carry. Another 3 to 4 yards on that.
Yeah, in this game plan, this is exactly what Kalkaska wanted to do. Third quarter's coming to an end, fourth quarter's coming up, and they still could, assuming this drive goes for 6 and they keep, slowly taking away this field, they could take another 5 minutes off the clock. And next thing you know, East Jordan's down 2 possessions with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I mean, this is really textbook football for Kalkaska coming here as underdogs.
Looks like they're going to let the clock run out to end this period here. And so after 3 periods of play, the score is the Kalkaska Blazers 16 and the East Jordan Red Devils 12. We're going to take a quick break, come back for the start of the 4th period. You are watching Red Devil football on Next Level Broadcasting, simulcast on nextlevelbroadcasting.net and on YouTube. Search Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back in a minute.
The Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center of East Jordan provides a safe place to be and a path to become for 6th to 12th grade teens. With after-school programming 4 days a week and our new Becoming You homeschool support program 3 days a week, we are always looking for passionate people to join our Depot volunteer family. Simply visit ejdepot.org/volunteer to discover how you can make a difference in the lives of our teens.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
All right, ready?
And we're back just in time for the start of the 4th period. Eric Huffman, Jared Stamen, Ryan Bentley bringing you high school football in East Jordan. Seidelman lunging forward for another big gain right up the middle, 1st and 10, Blazers, after another chunk play from Seidelman. It's become the Nolan Seidelman show here in the second half. But again, as long as they're not able to consistently stop him, why not just keep making him the workhorse and let him tote the mail?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been impressed with the young man, and he's just continued to show out. And I mean, if they can just keep this clock going, I think they're just happy milking this clock away and getting even 3 points here would be nice.
Yeah, nice sustained drive, and if they're able to get points out of this. Seidelman, the ball carrier. Met by a plethora of East Jordan Red Devils. I had to throw a different word in here this time.
Yeah, I think
minimal gain on the play.
I think Garrison Henry was one of the first guys there in the tackle.
Getting back in the rankings real quick. Divisions 5 and 6, or no, not divisions, 3 and 4. There wasn't anybody from the area ranked in the coaches poll right now. So we're moving on to, as I'm looking through, let's go all the way to Division 6. It's very interesting. Division 6 is just loaded. And I'm going to bring up Jackson Lumen Christie at number 1. And I'll tell you why after this play.
And another trips look for Kalkaska.
Seidelman up the middle. Hey, diddle diddle. Seidelman up the middle. And away we go. So anyway, Jackson Lumen Christie, number 1 in Division 6 right now. Actually saw them play Traverse City St. Francis last year. They actually played Gaylord last year too. And right behind them at number 2 is Traverse City St. Francis. And they do play each other again this year. Man, what a fun game that could be.
Oh, absolutely. I'm praying that Charles is going to put me on that game because Lord knows that's going to be a good one to watch.
Yeah, also in Division 6, Kingsley coming in at number 4, Boyne City at 5. Wilkinson surveying the field. Oh, he almost like he was, it fell incomplete. He was wide open. Almost looked like he short-armed it and didn't really complete his follow-through with his arm. Almost like he was second-guessing on the follow-through, which is why it fell short.
Yeah, I mean, the mechanics of quarterback are something that, are not really too easy. We saw, actually, Arch Manning last week against San Jose State had a couple arid throws on clean pockets. So, it can happen to anyone, even these number 1 recruits in the whole country.
In Division 7, you have Charlevoix toting the rankings at number 7. Wilkinson gets by a defender in the backfield. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And that is a big 4th down stop.
Yeah, huge stop. 9:53 to go in the second half. Hopefully that's a momentum builder to start heading the football the other way down the field. Maybe East Jordan can take the lead. And we'll finish off the rankings with Division 8 with said East Jordan Red Devils coming in at number 9.
Yeah, and if they want to stay at number 9 and keep climbing that rankings, they're going to have to get points here on this drive. And a huge, huge, huge stop by the defense. I cannot stretch that enough. If they would have gotten 6 points there, this game might have been over.
Speaking of getting over, we'll have to go back and check in on the rest of our next level universe. See if we're getting close to any finals in some of these other games too. Keep you updated. Henry the ball carrier. Cannon on the tackle. 2nd and 5. Just under 9:30 to go in the game. Again, Kalkaska clinging on to a 16-12 lead. Kalkaska taking the lead by getting the opening kickoff of the second half and starting their possession on the East Jordan side of the 50 and then marching it right down the field. Webb's going to keep it on the snap, going to lunge forward, close to the first down sticks. We'll see if they give it to him or not. Really close. Bittenbender on the tackle. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't heard a lot of tonight. We really talked about Wilkinson and Seidelman, but the one time I saw them, we saw quite a bit of Bittenbender. So I'm surprised Jet Bittenbender number hasn't been called more on offense this week. Looks like they're going to give East Jordan the first down on that. Instead of pulling out the index card, they decided just to look down and say, okay, first down, let's move the sticks. All the Red Devils, looks like a lot of them have their armbands on, checking the play, coming in from the sideline. 8:40 now to go in the game. Ooh, stuffed right in the backfield. Kalkaska got right through that line, and just about as the handoff was happening, they brought down Garrison Henry for a loss on the play. It'd be second and long. Try to get you an update from Charlevoix and Tawas. Maybe. Second and 12 from the 37. Webb, he tried. He tried to hit Wilson over here. Almost looked like the receiver in front was more open, but he tried to hit the next one down, which is Wilson, falls incomplete. So on 3rd and 12, Webb's going to send 3 to the right and 1 to the left. Talking about the play to his back. He's waiting on the snap. Looking like he's going to possibly try the flat. Yep, he is going to try him. Oh, and man, are they lucky that there wasn't an undercut for an interception and a run the other way. You got East Jordan wondering if there's some type of flag there with the defender running up, but I really didn't see anything that warranted a flag there. But what I did see was a possible interception for a touchdown the other way, as too much time with that developing and ending up with the throw on the flat. Almost better just to either chunk it downfield or throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be going for it on 4th down, so an arm punt wasn't really in their repertoire. They tried to live for another down, thinking the flats would be great, but Jet Bittenbender coming down there, and I think they didn't call pass interference because I think the defender had the best chance of getting the ball, and I think they were playing defense on offense.
4th and 12. 7:49 to go, so yeah, why not? Oh, and it looks like we're going to get another encroachment on the defense. Obviously, it's 4th and 12, so it's not going to do too much. I don't think that it'll change the play. I don't know if you still want to try it after just gaining 5 yards, but maybe you can pin them further back down. The 7:49 to go, still lots of time to go. Maybe defense can stuff them and get the ball back about right where you're punting it right now.
Yeah, I mean, not really going to probably change too much, like you said. Looks like they're going to be punting the ball here, but interesting choice here. They must trust their defense. Their defense looked pretty great getting the 4th down stop in the last drive, but they did get pretty close to the red zone, Kalkaska, so they're trusting their defense here to get them one more possession to potentially win this game.
Oh, fumbled on the reception, and then Kalkaska. So it looked like Wilkinson fumbled the reception, excuse me, and then tackled the East Jordan defender going down to make sure they couldn't get it. So let's.
Yeah, a very, very, again, lucky. Well, actually, East Jordan got lucky that ball didn't get picked, and the Blazers are lucky that ball didn't
Very, very fortunate. Still first down Kalkaska, but yeah, very fortunate that something that did not go awry there.
And it looks like the refs are discussing something on the play here. Don't know really what there could be.
It was really weird the way that all that developed with the ball hitting off the receiver and then tackling the guy that was right next to you. I don't know. Yeah, you get a meeting of 5 people out there, you're sure to make the right call, right?
You sure hope so.
Even if they are wearing stripes.
Depends on what team you're rooting for, Eric.
Yes, sir. personal foul on Kalkaska. So is that during the play? Is that, oh, it's not post play.
Wow. Well, like we said, those boys in those
Okay.
stripes, they're either your friends
So
or your enemies.
that is that the break that East Jordan needed? Getting a personal foul on a 4th and 12.
Big
or 4th
break.
and, because they just gotten 5 yards off that penalty. So what, 4th and 7 or something like that. And to have that happen, it's still 7:38 to go, and getting the ball back at Kalkaska's 43-yard line, obviously a great opportunity. Going to try the jet sweep. Get around the right side for a nice chunk gain on the play. Looking for his number. Yep, I thought it was. That is Brady Wilson. You got the combo of Wilson and Garrison Henry toting most of the load out there, and this time it was Wilson.
Yeah, I think they've had a little bit of a harder time getting Wilson the ball in the second half and just trying to get him there, on the jet sweep. Sometimes you don't have to pass it to a wide receiver to make the wide receiver make impact plays. And with a guy like Wilson, he just needs touches, and he could break a tackle, and next thing you know, 40 yards down the field, he's celebrating in the end zone.
Second and 2. Just under 7 minutes to go now in the game. Webb out of the gun. Fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself. Go up the middle. He's met right about the line of scrimmage by Kalkaska Blazer. Looks like Bittenbender again on the tackle.
And I think that the coach's decision right now, after seeing that play on second and short, running it for little to no gain, they're trying to get this clock down to as little to 0 as possible, because if they could score here, Eric, they would be up 2 points. And if they don't leave enough time left, it's a lot of pressure on the Kalkaska offense to get points.
Henry on the carry. Looks like he'll get the first down and then some inside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, a Red Devil 6:12 left to go now in the game.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful running. Just churning them, getting them nice and tired, and watching that clock slowly wind down as they're closing in on the red zone, less than 30 yards towards that precious 6 points.
And you wonder if they're confident enough to sustain this drive and run the clock down, take the lead, and there not be enough time left for Kalkaska. But right now, with the way things have gone and been so back and forth, and especially with penalty flags, you almost think you need to get down there and score. It doesn't matter how much time's left.
Yeah, in a perfect
William Webb on the carry. My bad.
Oh, it's all good. In perfect world, 6 points is what you ultimately want. But I think the coach feels confident. I mean, their strength is their line and winning in the trenches. So, they're built for moments like these, milking down the clock, getting that ball last possession, and win the game right there.
2nd and 7, ball resting on the 26-yard line. Clock continues to run. And as long as it continues to run and that he don't seem to be in any hurry, are we possibly looking at this being their last possession?
I think that is the goal, Eric.
Webb on the keeper. Decent chunk up the middle. Going to be short of the first down by maybe 2 yards. Be 3rd and short.
Yeah, they're trying to use as much clock as they can. They're confident. This is their home field. This is the field they feel, the most comfortable running on. They know where, the divots where you're not really supposed to cut are, and they're going to take advantage.
The divots, that's right. Yeah, they do know their field.
And on real grass, that is actually a bit of an advantage because it is real grass. It's not artificial turf. It's not even. There's going to be some bumps. It's imperfect like life.
It's on 3rd and 2. Hand off to Henry. Big chunk play up the middle. Looks like Henry in the first half type of chunk play up the middle.
Yeah. And I think you're really starting to see wear and tear, and these guys get tired as this East Jordan front is just starting to get some real
and
big
again,
push.
I've been waiting for the offensive line, and that was a nice setup, and there is a big gaping hole for him to run through on that play.
Yeah, they got to feel real confident now of just letting that clock get as low as they can because they've got, what is that, less than 15 yards to the end zone, almost less than 10.
Under 4 minutes to go. Webb out of the gun. He's got it handed off to Henry. Lunging forward inside the 5-yard line. Looking at the side judge, looks like they'll be down at about the 4.
Yeah, he got real close there. He wanted that end zone with that leap at the end.
But here's the thing, though, too. 3.5 to go, and we're worrying about clock running out, but they can still get another first down before scoring.
They can, and ultimately, if I'm the coach, that's your goal. I think you're trying to get there, and you might even potentially take a kneel just to guarantee more time off the clock.
Second and 2. But fakes the handoff. Gets it out in the flat. Almost picked it up off the turf, and he lunges forward. Does he get in or not? And they give him the signal. Touchdown, East Jordan.
Wow, phenomenal play by Brady Wilson. And, again, getting them out in the flats and letting them make plays as he just did right there.
That was so close to end up being a turf ball, though. That was a great way to bend down and get that reception and then muscle his way forward for the score to take the lead. 18-16, 3:04 left to go. East Jordan waiting for the extra point try.
Yeah, and we're going to go for 2 points here, looking like. Trying to get up.
Try Henry up the middle. Inches his way closer to the goal line. No signal from the side judge. So we had one on this side waving no good, and then he had one on the other side come in, and then they finally gave it the good side. So 2-point conversion good. 3:04 left to go in the game. East Jordan 20 and Kalkaska 16. We will take a quick break and then be right back for the kickoff in the last 3:04 of the game. You are watching East Jordan football on Next Level Broadcasting.
Today's game is brought to you by Professional Seamless Gutters, Burnett Foods, the Depot Jordan Valley Teen Center, Charlevoix State Bank, TVC Cherry Capital Airport, EJ, East Jordan Plastics Incorporated, and Active Recovery, Physical Therapy, and Sports Rehab. We hope you are enjoying tonight's game.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Welcome back to Boswell Stadium. In the last 3:04 of the game here between East Jordan Red Devils and the Kalkaska Blazers, East Jordan just took a 20-16 lead after a nice sustained play, running a lot of clock down and methodically making their way down and taking the 4-point lead after a fortunate 2-point conversion, I want to say, almost picking that ball up off the ground. But again, here we go, waiting for the kickoff. Let's see what East Jordan likes to do with their special type of kickoff setup here with 3:04 to go.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to try and get this onside kick and just win the game right here. That's been a strength for this team.
You've got Kalkaska, 2 guys up by the 30. You almost might want to just let it go, but they kick it short, and then you've got him. He's down to the 30, the 25, the 20. You got a nice block, and down into 10, 5, touchdown. Kalkaska, I am not seeing any flags, and the referee gives us the signal. What a play on the short kickoff by the East Jordan Red Devils. And was that Wyatt Ball, I think? Is that 18 on them? Either way, wow. Again, I thought, okay, this is going to be another short kickoff for Kalkaska to get starting field position on the East Jordan side of the 50 with some time left to score. But he just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm just going to take it out of the house right now. And now we've got 2:49 to go, and Kalkaska retaking the lead, 22-20, after you had an East Jordan crowd very, very hyped and thinking they're on their way to finish this game off.
I was just about to comment on that, actually, Eric. The crowd was really getting into it. You can see the cheerleaders pumping them all up, and even the bench getting the crowd involved. And, wow, how quickly that can change. 15 seconds.
Seidelman gets his lead blocker and gets in for 2. After the 2-point conversion, we are down again. 2:49 left to go in the game. Kalkaska retakes the lead after a kickoff return for a touchdown, 24-20. We will just keep it right here. I've got a sponsor I need to thank once again, which is Bingham Insurance Company. You know, during the course of each and every day, we all face an abundance of risks, some that we don't even consider, some we do. For protection against foreseeable and unforeseeable risk is where Bingham Insurance Company comes in, capable of providing coverage for your home, auto, life, and even pet insurance. They do it all. That's Bingham Insurance Services, a trusted and proud auto owners insurance affiliate. Also like to thank Pro Seamless Gutters, Charlevoix State Bank, and TBC Cherry Capital Airport. Thank you so much for sponsoring. Thank you all for watching Next Level Broadcasting. On our whole host of games, our whole network here, 5 schools that we now carry. We were hoping to get the AD in for an interview the second half, but we were not able to get it to come together. But so happy to be able to include East Jordan into our family of schools that we cover. Again, we cover Gaylord St. Mary's, Traverse City St. Francis, Elk Rapids, Charlevoix, and again, welcoming East Jordan into our family this year. And again, our home office studio is now in East Jordan as well. So it's really nice just to, like today, I met you down there and just like, hey, let's just drive on up the road and let's have a game.
Yeah, and it's being right on the lake. We're very happy to have East Jordan part of the family, and this has been a wonderful game to much of our surprise.
Oh
here.
Yeah, this has been a very fun game. Short kickoff by Kalkaska, taken by the up back, taken about 39 and gets it to about the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, 2:46 to go in the game.
And you're going to hear a lot of East Jordan crowd here. The boxes, they're getting excited. The crowd, They're getting excited. I mean, this is much-watched Friday night lights football. 1-possession game, 2:46 left. Both teams got all their timeouts. This is really what it's all about.
And quick shout-out, good job by Kalkaska. Decent following over there in the visitor stands along the fence line there, too.
Potentially the last drive of the game here for East Jordan.
That sustained run drive, too, so it makes you wonder, can they get enough chunk plays on the run as they try the run play with Henry on 1st and 10? No going, as the Blazers will stuff him at the goal line, maybe lose a yard on that.
Yeah, and I think this Kalkaska team, I think they're trying to prove the doubters wrong here. 2-0 is not a fluke on this team. They might have not had the toughest first 2 games, but they're coming in here to East Jordan, and they're making a statement right now as we see a quick lineup here from the Devils.
Oh, and looks like good timeout East Jordan. Yeah, because I believe timeout East Jordan. 2:19 left to go. I guess we'll just keep it right here. Again, we were just talking about they had a nice sustained drive of run plays and whatnot to take the lead before Kalkaska ran the kickoff back. So what's something they could do, or is there anything that we've seen tonight that they could pull back out to possibly, we haven't really seen anything since that. Is that something they could possibly set up, or are they who they are, and we've seen most of it a run game tonight?
I don't think they are who they are. I think they've shown some flashes of passing. I mean, the play-action pass to Brady Wilson was, a product of the run. But, they had a couple intermediate routes to Brady Wilson, 5-10-yard dig routes, and he gets open there. I think that they practice for these 2-minute drills, and I'm really excited to see what potentially does, with a more strictly passing role, not, relying as much on his backs to make plays.
And we haven't really brought up, what difference would Max Beal have made tonight, too, obviously, because wasn't in uniform tonight.
Yeah, I mean.
We'll snap off the ground as Webb keeps it. He gets around to the right side. Kalkaska looks like they're just looking to try to push through that line and make sure they get nothing on that play. They're going to force them into passing as there's a flag on the play. You got Kalkaska pointing on the side of East Jordan, and we'll wait and see what the signal is.
Looks like Seidelman got hit in the face there. I wonder if they're going to get a face mask.
Wait for the call.
Yeah.
Holding on the offense. So, and I believe that's the 4th or 5th holding call in East Jordan tonight?
Yeah, it's at least the 4th holding call, Eric. I think it might actually be the 5th.
As they're blowing whistles about something again. Holding.
Well,
gotcha. Instead of right. Okay, just some miscommunication because they ended up declining the penalty.
I got you. And there's still actually a flag on the play. The refs, he's finally sitting there and picking that up. But
Get your laundry up, buddy.
3rd and 10 for the offense.
And we're still trying to get things reset here.
Yeah. And, Eric, this is clearly 4th down territory.
Yeah, for sure.
So the playbook's still open here. You still could run the ball, but, 2:11 on the play clock. They've got 2
The hard thing is, we had that bomb, but after that, it's been kind of like short arm passes after that, too. There haven't been too many things yet. When's the last time somebody was hitting the numbers? I don't think I've seen that.
No, and I think that, East Jordan kind of, a lot of times they do try to air out the ball and just, get a lot of points quickly, but.
Well, off the right hash, they got 3 going to the left. Let's see if the offensive line can hold up and see if Webb wants to air it out. Nice. Ooh, up in the middle. Oh, he missed his man in the middle. It was Brady Wilson. Threw it behind him.
Yeah, and that's one of the this time of the game, young quarterback, like we said, first year playing the actual position of quarterback, and, he hasn't had to have a pressure situation like this. So this is the first time we're seeing William Webb with a potential game-winning drive. Last game they did score 51-0, so not really much of a threat and a lot of, tough must-score drives for this offense.
4th and 14. Play of the game right here. Webb fakes his pass to the right. He's trying. Oh, and he's going to be sacked and dropped for a loss, and a loss of possession. Nice run down and tackle for a loss. I'm waiting for him to turn so I can get his number because he deserves some recognition. There we go. Number 12, Jack Nirasol, something like that. I had opened up, get on that chat line. You can tell me how to correctly pronounce his name, and I'll be happy to do it.
Wow. This Kalkaska team has just played with the utmost heart all game. I mean,
yeah,
you could really see how much they just wanted this win, which is not over yet. I will say, there's still time. They've got 2 timeouts, East Jordan. Turnovers are still on the board. They got to keep ball security here.
Wilkinson going to hang on to the ball, and he's going to get a nice chunk play up the middle. He's going to get at least 10 yards out of that, probably 12. 1st and 10 Blazers.
It looks like there's a Red Devil slow to get up. It looks like.
Yeah, I think it was Garrison Henry.
I believe it was.
Again, we've called his number so many times now. You wonder if it's not fatigue, too. Really hard-fought game by him tonight on both sides of the ball as we've got another timeout.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen a lot of air yards this game. They've just been punching each other in the mouth. Seidelman has been a dog so far, and Harrison Beal Harrison Henry.
There you go.
Has been phenomenal. But I still do think that they're missing Max Beal. He is really a difference maker. He's kind of their Seidelman, their punch him in the mouth, seeking contact type of guy. And, Garrison is just a sophomore. Bright futures look great so far, but, their senior and Max Beal is really the anchor of their offense.
First and 10 Blazers on the 20-yard line. 1:51 left to go in the game. Kalkaska clinging to a 4-point lead and possession of the ball. Wilkinson going to go up the middle, spinning around one tackler, churning his legs, trying to get every inch that he can. He's going close to the 10-yard line, close to another first down. And they will hold the clock here for a second. And it looks like a timeout by East Jordan.
Yeah, and I got to say, I'm a little bit surprised by Kalkaska running with the quarterback. And, he's only had one arm on that ball. If you're a East Jordan coach, you're yelling at your guys, try and get your hands on that ball. He's not 2 hands. They're going for first downs and going for this touchdown to fully ice this game instead of just letting this clock bleed out.
The whole East Jordan team coming out here for this timeout, trying to band the troops together, make sure, hey, let's see if we can't stuff this, give us some time on the clock, see if we can't get down there and pull out a victory. Well, we've got a quick second. We'll talk again about TVC Cherry Capital Airport. It's time to get away to your dream destination. Like many, that means flying into Northern Michigan. Whether you're looking to fly in or out of Northern Michigan this fall, look to fly, then take to the sky with TVC. Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport is your best gateway to the world, offering services from Allegiant, American, Delta, Sun Country, and United Airlines. Visit tvcairport.com for up-to-the-minute flight schedules. Book your next getaway today. TVC and Wilkinson on second down. lose another tackler in the backfield. He's going to get at least a first down. He's close down to the goal line now. You had a chance from East Jordan. You almost had a tackle for loss, and maybe you just be able to wrap that up, maybe give yourself a chance. But it looks like possibly it's inevitable that Kalkaska might just punch this one in.
Yeah, honestly, I got to say, and I know not to say anything, I know these East Jordan Devils, they want to stay undefeated, but Kalkaska, when it has mattered most, you can just see every single player on that team in that bench are just fighting for their lives. They know the importance of this game, and they're really here to spoil what's been a perfect start for the East Jordan season.
We'll look into, once I get it here, I will, if I can spell correctly. Want to get into the team schedule so we can see who they got coming up next week, especially because Kalkaska, they pull out this victory. They got a lot of momentum coming in.
Absolutely.
And they're going in 3-0. You have a nice march towards the playoffs. You're talking about now. So if they hold on against East Jordan, this will be an interesting one. They have to go to Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart, so it'll be an interesting game for Kalkaska.
And they're just trying to punch in here and just comfortably walk away with this win. No silly things can happen.
Wilkinson gonna take a knee.